Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eSports Report presented by Xbox One. Chris Puckett and Mr. X here in New York City, and we are joined by a very special guest, Matt.
Yes.
It's Pro League Day 1 of Season 2, and already we have shocking news.
Huge news. I heard rumblings of this about, 2 weeks ago, and then I was at the EU Regionals. Just saw some fantastic gameplay there, but there's going to be a team we're going to see a little bit more of.
That's right. We're going to mix it up here. NA about to get a lot closer to EU. We got TCM. We got Jim Maguire on the phone. Jim, thank you for joining the eSports Report. Jim, I'm just going to let you break the news yourself. What's going down with TCM?
We are officially taking over a spot in the Season 2 Pro League, and our COD team will be crossing the pond very shortly to play against the NA's finest. The guys are really, really pumped and looking forward to this. So it's something they've wanted to do ever since Season 1 was announced. We couldn't obviously do that. So to be included in Season 2 is going to be amazing for the guys and amazing for all of us.
A European team.
Yeah, it's huge news.
Coming over to North America to play in Pro League Season 2. Jim, talk to me about this deal. How did it go down? I know you expressed interest in trying to get a team for Season 1. How did you finally get a spot now here for Season 2?
We were approached by one of the teams from Season 1 who very kindly offered to sell their spot to us. So we negotiated the deal and we purchased their slot for them. Unfortunately, it's had to be done and kept very, very quiet. We've had to keep this under the radar until everything was finalised, and obviously today it's finalised. We're ready and we're good to go.
So, Jim, whose idea was it to bring the team to the United States, and really, why bring them now?
Craig and myself have obviously expressed an interest in being in Season 1, but we couldn't do it. So when we got the opportunity, it was just an absolute no-brainer. The EU scene is amazing. There's some very loyal fans out there, but we've been at the top of the game for so long now with Epsilon, who are sort of the other big team in the EU. And it's the next logical step to actually come across the pond and play against the big names, the Optics, the Phases, and the guys are ready for it. Their ability's there. They'll need to adapt a few things. They've got a lot of training ahead of them, but they're just so pumped for it and ready to work so hard to get there that it's just going to be amazing.
I have to say, as a caster, I'm excited.
Oh, I'm really excited.
Really, we got very few special treats when we got to see NA playing against the top teams in EU. We saw it at Anaheim, TCM finishing top 3 there. We've seen it at UMG and the Gfinity events. But outside of that, very few times have we seen kind of the teams crossing over to each other's regions. Now you guys will be moving to the U.S. That's kind of one of the stipulations. You have to play from American soil. What's the plan? Are you guys getting a team house? Where are the players going to be competing from, and what's the long-term goal?
We certainly are getting a team house. The guys will be living together out in the States. That's actually being set up as we speak, so all good things there. They'll be living and playing together. They'll be a professional team. That's their goal. That's what they've strived to do in all the years they've been playing, and now we're making it happen for them.
Do you have a city in mind? I know Atlanta is kind of a hot spot right now for team houses. Hastro and the Envy Boys have one up in North Carolina. Where's the ideal spot for TCM?
Well, we kind of, obviously, being from the EU, we kind of did it logically, and we thought, well, okay, where's the best place to go? Obviously, you guys have got studios out in Columbus and out in New York, so we kind of put a pin on a map and went, Philadelphia, here we come.
All right, Philly.
Right, Philly. We're going to Philly.
As long as you guys don't become Eagles fans, I am totally down with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well. I'm not Giants fan, Cowboy fan.
Yeah,
it seemed logical to actually go to Philadelphia because it's so close to the studios. Just in case whatever's happening out in the studios, it's near the arena. So it just seemed quite logical, and we've had to deal with it logically for obviously not being from the States. Everything, all the amenities are there. There's everything we need. There's some great connections to the EU, so the guys can fly back out quite quickly. So yeah, it just seemed a logical step, and to be fair, Philly looks a hell of a nice city.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice place, and definitely amazing cheesesteaks as well.
Rocky was filmed there.
Yeah, of course. So, Jim, let's wrap this up with you. Of course, I know you've wanted to do this for a while. Why were you able to here in season 2? Who's helping you? Who's helping you guys out?
Well, I mean, there's obviously a lot of personal investment from myself and Craig, but I mean, we couldn't do this without our partners. They've been absolutely amazing. The guys at BenQ, the guys at Scuff, GT Omega, the new partner we've just brought on, literally just brought a new partner on today, DynoPC.com. They're all on board for it. They've been fantastic. I mean, they really have. And without them, you know, it could have still been a pipe dream. So, you know, hats off to those guys.
All right, final question. Of course, we know who your starting lineup is for Call of Duty Championships. Who do you have as your starters coming into the league, and who do you think you're going to have as substitutes? Because Aware did a really incredible job towards the end of last season, picking up the young talent and really putting together a strong force. Who's your 6-man roster? Who are you looking at right now, Jim?
Well, that's been the hardest part of all, to be honest, because we've obviously had to keep this so closely under wraps. We would normally approach players and discuss our plans with them. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do this because we obviously had to keep this so closely under wraps. So we're hoping to speak to some of the guys from Aware as quickly as possible. We obviously want to sort of stay in line with the project, which is to have an EU team out there. So we'd want the EU players to be the starting lineup, but we are, you know, hoping that we can confirm a couple of the guys from Aware as substitutes. But we'd understand if they decide that they want to move to pastures green, and you know, we can obviously then discuss with other players who might be interested.
All right, so if they want to stay, they got a home. If not, you're gonna keep it open doors if they want to go find somewhere else. Well, Jim, really appreciate you coming on. Matt, I know you had something else to say.
Oh, no, you always got to accommodate players in any way, shape, or form. I mean, whether you're just acquiring new players, and even if you don't really know too much about them, or you're just trying to send a player off to a better home. So hats off to TCM.
It is all about the players. At the end of the day, that's our main focus. You know, without the players, there isn't an organisation. Without the players, there isn't esports. So you've got to look after the players. It is unfortunate that we've had to do this, and you know, we really do not normally operate like this, but unfortunately we've had to. But there is a home for them, for sure. All very talented players and well respected within the NA scene. So hopefully we can strike a deal with the guys, and then we're there.
Don't let go of Hook, man. I'll tell you that. The kid is too good. Jim, thank you so much for coming on the Esports Report. We're going to talk with one of your players after this. Shane is going to be joining the show. So, guys, don't go anywhere. The TCM story continues right here on the ESR, coming up next.